Well, according to the scripture, he took earth, dirt, and formed it into a man, and breathed into him the breath of life. And this is how.
So God took something that already
exactly.
existed, and He made it into something else. Aha. That's what we did. You see, we took something that already existed, and we turned it into something else. So when the professor says, oh, creation is religious, and evolution, that's scientific, he doesn't even understand his own science. You see, most of our scientific procedures involve us taking something that already exists and turning it into something else. And the smarter the something else is, the more money you can make from the project. So therefore, everybody actually knows the evidence of one sort of creation in the scriptures. And it's simply this: the end product has more information in it than the stuff you started with. Wood does not go around in circles and come back.
Not at all.
Boomerangs do.
Yes.
So it's not the wood that's making it do that, it's the information that makes it do that. Now, of course, how much are you willing to pay me for this boomerang, Romulus? I need money. I've got to get back to Australia. How much are you willing to pay me?
Can we just get rid of the cameras?
So this is off the record. Okay, I'll take $1,000 or whatever, but in reality...
Not a bad price.
Not a bad price for a genuine artefact. I got this from a dear old Aboriginal. So tell me, Bob, but why would you actually think of paying me for this?
Well, because it has a value, and it's valuable for me.
Yes, but where is the value? Is it in the wood?
No.
Because you've got wood in Romania.
Yeah, I could. Yes, exactly.
So where is the value?
Well, it's in the information.
Good. You see, what you have a look at in industry or any activity where we create is the bigger the difference between the information in the end product and the starting product, the more money you can make from it. Now, you can work a computer?
Yes, just a little bit, but...
Okay, now you've heard of Mr. Bill Gates?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay, now, in computer language, he starts with zeros and ones.
Yeah, he's good at it.
He's very good at it, and he ends up with Windows 2010.
Yeah, and he ends up with 1 and lots of zeros.
One and lots of zeros in his bank account. Right. Okay, now look, how come? How much did the zeros and ones cost him?
Well, fairly nothing.
Nothing, that's exactly right, okay? And yet you pay $2,000 for Windows XP and all the other frills that go with it. Now he's taken nothing and turned it into something, and you've paid for it. But you see, you're not paying for the stuff he's using. You're paying for the information that comes out of his head.
Yes, exactly.
So when you have a look at the biblical account of creation, we see in our own experience what the evidence would be if you're brave enough to ask, what would the evidence be if that was true? What would the evidence be if God took dust and He made man? What would the evidence be if He took nothing and He turned it into something? Because we do the same sorts of things ourselves, and we just live in denial. That's one reason why I've got so many psychological cases. If you believe in evolution, you are denying the real world you live in, because every day you create cakes, you create cars, we are denying our own existence. Okay, go one step further. You see, for those listeners who are mathematically inclined, there's a very simple formula for recognizing a creation. Not you, of course.
Okay, good.
The information in the product is greater than the information in the parts. It's very simple.
Yes, even for me.
Even for you, that's right. But the bigger the difference, the more information has come from the Creator.
Exactly.
So if you start with nothing and you end with something, that being is very smart indeed.
Oh, yes.
Ah, now you know why Bill Gates is rich and you're not. Oh, sorry.
I guess yes.
But it's really true, isn't it, right?
Yes, it is.
And so when you have to think about it, we do have even a mathematical formula to recognize a creation.
Yes.
So we recognize the boomerang's a creation, we recognize this glass as a creation, and we recognize the computer and the television's a creation. And yet the very people who do the maths of this and write all these lovely programs usually look in the mirror and say, aha, the evidence of millions of years of accidental changes. Foolishness. Because if you think about it, what is a human being? Well, do you remember the name of the first man in the Bible?
Adam.
Adam, okay. What does the Bible say he was made of?
Out of dirt.
Out of dirt. Okay, so think carefully. A boomerang is a 100% returning object made of 100% non-returning wood.
Good.
If the Bible's true, what would you expect a good definition of a man to be?
Let me fix it. 100% of living being made of 100% of non-living particles.
Good. So when you're dead, what do you become?
A bunch of non-living particles.
Dust.
Oh yes, dust.
Now you see, you can take dust as a living creature, and the dust itself doesn't do anything. But if you have been to art school, you can take that dust and mix it with plaster or water, and you can shape it into a beautiful model, a statue of a human being, right?
Yeah.
And then you'll put it in the oven, and you get the temperature right, and you'll bake it, and it will come out, and they'll say, "Oh, Mr. Romulus, famous artist, you know, we'll hang you in the Louvre in Paris, right?" And everyone will be really impressed because of your creativity. You see, the end product is made of dust plus your skill.
Exactly.
It's not the dust that decided this would be the world's best sculpture, right?
Exactly.
It's your information. You could have turned the dust into a children's mud pie.
Exactly.
Right? If the dust doesn't determine anything, and the greater the difference between the information in the dust and the final product, the more credit goes to you. Question: what do you think you'd have to do to take that statue that's made of non-living dust, and you've very skillfully turned it into a non-living statue? How much skill do you think it would take to get that statue to be able to walk off the podium and join us here in the studio?
Do you want me to start to think about right now?
We probably don't have time.
Oh no.
But you see, we're really beginning to answer that question by inventing robots. What is a robot? It's a 100% acting machine made out of 100% non-acting parts.
Exactly.
Right? Now, we can take dust and make people. Oh, no, we can only make them when they're dead, can't we? We can only make statues.
Yeah.
We can take living people and turn them into dust. That's easy, isn't it, right?
We're good at
but
it, unfortunately.
we can't do it the other way around.
We can't.
We're getting close, and the closer we get, the more we are learning about, well, man is a 100% living object made out of actually 100% non-living parts. But of course, that's a little bit cheating for those who might be confused, because you inherited your life from mum and dad, and they got it from their mum and dad. But you see, all we've done is just shift the question back to the first man, Adam, and the answer is he was made of dust, and God breathed into him, and God made him a living being. Okay, he made, in fact, would you read that verse 26 again, please, so we can make an extra special point?
Okay. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our own likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth."
Now, did you look in the mirror this morning before you came to the studio?
Well, it was hard, but I did.
And you said, "Oh, I must improve my looks before I come to the studio."
Yes, and I've been working quite a while for.
Now, did you notice something? What you saw in the mirror was your reflection.
Exactly.
Your image.
Yes.
And did you notice when you picked up the comb, it picked up a comb?
Yes, it did.
It did. And when you brushed your teeth?
He did it too.
He did it too, that's right. In other words, your image could do what you did.
Exactly.
But it couldn't do it as well. You see, you stood in front of the mirror when you'd finished and you said, "Oh, you handsome Hulk." And your image went. You could speak and make sounds, but if you wanted to understand your image, you had to be able to lip read.
Never thought of that.
It could do what you did, but only to a much lesser degree.
Very interesting.
So God took dust and made a living being, and you can take dust and make robots. That's the closest you can get. But the reason you can do that and the monkey can't is that it's one of the best evidences that man alone was made in the image as the reflection of the Creator God.